Read
the first half.
The first half of this book.
Caps for Sale.
Caps for Sale, written by Joe Flanders.
A tale of a peddler, some monkeys, and their monkey business. Celebrating 75 years.
Joe wrote it, went back in time, planted it.
And made my name
Esper Andy is the pen name that it's under.
Esper Slobonkina.
Oh. All right.
Caps for Sale.
Really
all right. See? Look at all those caps. Look at all those caps.
Oh, I do remember this book. I remember that image.
The guy with a lot of caps?
Yeah, I remember that image.
Okay. So how once there I can't really.
There was this girl.
Once there was a peddler who sold caps, but he was not like an ordinary peddler carrying his wares on his back. He carried them on top of his head. First, he had on his own checked cap, then a bunch of gray caps, then a bunch of brown caps, then a bunch of blue caps, and on the very top, a bunch of red caps.
All right, so we got gray, yellow, gray, red.
Yeah. There was limited color options on the printer. Yeah. He walked up and down the streets, holding himself very straight as to not upset his caps.
Yeah, well. Gonna need you to pick up the pace on this if we're getting through half the book.
As he went along, he called, "Caps! Caps for sale! 50 cents a cap!"
By the way, the Bengals game starts in 1 minute, and this shows how shitty this season has been for us that we, in lieu of watching the beginning of this game, we are reading Caps for Sale.
I had the exact same thought. For a split second, I was checking the clock. I'm like, why the fuck am I? Oh, right, it doesn't matter.
No, it's safe. Like, whatever. We'll get to it when we get to it. I'm not stressed. But I do think it's funny that instead of that, you were reading aloud Caps for Sale. That's how far the mighty have fallen for us. This time last year, we were looking at playoff seeding. This year, Caps for Sale.
All right, so one morning, he couldn't sell any caps. He walked up the street and he walked down the street calling, "Caps, caps for sale, 50 cents a cap." Yeah. But nobody wanted any caps that morning. Nobody wanted even a red cap.
Oh.
He began to feel very hungry.
If your customer base doesn't even want a red cap.
Right, because that's the gimme.
There's a very specific customer base that does want a red cap. Perhaps he's not in the right town.
That's true. Yes, that's very true. He could do very well in certain pockets of the country.
Yes, wherever he walks.
Yes, right. He began to feel very hungry, but he had no money for lunch.
Because nobody bought his fucking red hats.
No, he's living day to day. No savings for this guy.
No.
He's got to sell the caps to get some lunch.
God that somebody buys a fucking hat that he's already wearing. All of his shit is used. By him. He's like a walking garage sale.
I want to know how he gets them off his head when he does have somebody that wants to buy one.
Slight bend, and then they all come down.
"I think I'll go for a walk in the country," said he, and he walked out of town slowly, so as not to upset his caps.
Now, why are his caps so temperamental that they?
I was wondering about that. Yeah. They do seem to have some anger issues.
Yeah, can't piss off these caps.
He walked for a long time, and he came to a great big tree. "That's a nice place for a rest," thought he. And he sat down very slowly under the tree and leaned back little by little against the tree trunk so as not to disturb the caps on his head. Again, Got to take it easy. Got to move slow.
Gotta be careful.
Then he put up his hand to feel if they were straight. First his own checkered cap, then the gray caps, then the brown caps, then the blue caps, then the red caps on the very top.
Yeah. Fuck.
There's nothing better than a funny idea. Then when you're doing it, you're like, why the fuck am I doing? But
Yeah,
we're in too deep. We're in too deep.
And so are the viewers.
Oh yeah, we're all in this together, y'all. Nobody's enjoying this.
We haven't even gotten to Monkey 1 yet.
I know, and I feel like that would be a good cliffhanger to end on.
Why don't we end with when the monkeys come in?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Yeah. They were all there, all the caps. So he went to sleep. He slept for a long time.
Yeah, this is like some Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle shit.
It is. It is. Then he woke up. He was refreshed, or when he woke up, he was refreshed and rested. Uh-oh, something's missing off the top of his head.
Louboutins on, red bottoms.
But before standing up, he felt with his hand to make sure his caps were in the right place. All he felt was his own checked cap.
Fuck.
Where'd my caps go?
We know.
He looked to the right of him, no caps.
This is an illustrated page, him looking up at the tree. Couldn't they just cut to him looking up into the tree where the monkeys clearly are with the caps?
They got to build suspense. Where could the caps be?
Well, monkey shit is on the title of the book, so we know what's happening.
Well, that's true. That is true. He looked to the looked in back of him, no caps. He looked behind the tree, no caps. Up.
Still.
Now he's looking up.
Okay.
Then he looked up into the tree, and what do you think he saw? We'll find out. So, if y'all remember where we left off last week, our cap salesman had taken a nap under a tree, and he was looking. When he woke up, he didn't have his caps, except for the one cap on his head. That was his.
One on his head. Yeah, he didn't have all of his supplementary caps that he carries around on top of his head.
Yes, exactly. So, oh boy.
Dealing exclusively in pre-owned caps.
Yes. So again, when he took his nap, that is what we saw. All those caps for sale. When he woke up, no caps, except for the one on his head, which was adamantly not for sale. He would punch anybody.
In the YMCA, as you can see, he was mid doing the YMCA dance.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. There it is.
Solid C there.
Yep. Okay. So when he woke up, he was refreshed and rested.
Yeah.
Doing the YMCA.
Okay. Your mic's a little muffled now after what you did. We want to get good audio.
Yes, of course. This better?
There we go. Yes.
But before standing up, he felt his hand with his hand to make sure his caps were in the right place.
Safe.
All he felt was his own checked cap.
It's a problem.
It's
a real problem.
He looked to the right of him. No caps. Yeah. He looked to the left of him.
If you were someone who subscribes to this show and you have a friend who has maybe asked you, like, what is the Andy Show? You can go ahead and record just this part. Send this to him. Let him know what we do over here on Patreon.
Yeah, this is a perfect summary of what it is we do.
This is 500 episodes of this.
He looked in back of him, no caps. He looked behind the tree, no caps. Now the kids say no cap all the time. I wonder if this book will catch on.
Yeah.
Then he looked up.
No lying.
Yes, exactly. Then he looked up into the tree, and what do you think he saw?
I'm going to guess some caps.
Oh! On every branch sat a monkey. On every monkey was a gray or a brown or a blue or a red cap. Look at all those monkeys with their caps on.
He's going to have a hard time selling these because he was already wearing them around town. Now there's wild animals wearing them.
That's true. It would be
It doesn't
dishonest.
bode well for his sale.
It doesn't, because not so far. No customers have seen the monkeys wearing the caps, so he could be a dishonest salesman. We'll see what he does.
I don't think that, I get the feeling that this guy's not a dishonest salesman, Joe. I feel
No,
like
I don't think so. I think you're right.
somebody who's good to his customers.
The peddler looked at the monkeys. The monkeys looked at the peddler. He didn't know what to do. Finally, he spoke to them. Look at that. He's looking up at them. They're looking at him.
Head arched all the way back, dislocated his jaw so he could get his head up higher.
Yeah. Yeah, with his hands behind his back.
If you can see someone's mustache from behind, that's quite something.
Yeah, he broke his neck to do this. Yeah. And he said, "You monkeys, you," shaking a finger at them, "you give me back my caps." But the monkeys
maybe this is the next season of Average Joe. It's just this. It's just you as the caps guy. And we just play this out. We spend whatever budget we have on getting some CG monkeys, and there's nothing else. We cut this up into like 60-second increments of just this moment where you're yelling it, and no solution. That's a GoFundMe worth going to, by the way, is the help us make caps for sale as Average Joe.
Yeah, a live action caps for sale. But the monkeys only shook their fingers back at him and said,
"Yeah, TSZ."
Yeah.
Yeah.
This made the peddler angry, so he shook both hands at them and said, "You monkeys, you give me back my caps." But the monkeys only shook both their hands back at him and said, "Oh, boy. Should we break this up into a third? Or should we keep going?"
No, I'm loving it.
Okay. Now he felt quite angry. He stamped his foot and he said, "You monkeys, you better give me back my caps." Look at him stomping that foot.
Yep. There he is.
But the monkeys only stamped their feet back at him. And what do you think they said? Yes, good.
You really are a teacher, Joe. For anybody who didn't believe, now definitive proof.
Yeah, I'm going to read this to my high schoolers. It'll be great.
Yes, this will ruin the honeymoon phase.
Yes, yeah, exactly. It'll hurry up the divorces, annulments.
Yeah.
By this time,
as
the peddler,
you will be very chuggy, I believe is the pronunciation of what they refer to us millennials as.
Oh, do they? Oh,
yeah.
By this time, the peddler was really very, very angry. He stomped both of his feet and shouted, "You monkeys, you must give me back my caps." But the monkeys only stamped both their feet back at him and said,
"Yeah.
Boy, we were in a real standoff here." And they're still smiling. Our monkeys are still smiling. So they don't seem to be bothered by it. Well, this one's kind of bummed. I don't know what that's about. Maybe he's kind of slipping.
Yeah, well, the cap's kind of going over
and
his
it's
face.
going over his eye. Yeah. At
By the
last,
way, if that's not the pronunciation of that, don't make fun of me. I was, I don't know it. I'm 33. I don't know what you guys say.
Oh, yeah. I have no idea.
Just don't make fun of me. That's all I'm
saying.
Don't
do it. Don't do it.
Don't kill me. Don't make fun of me. Joe, let's get one more page here after this blank page.
All right. At last, he became so angry that he pulled off his own cap, threw it on the ground, and began to walk away. That seems like a good place to stop today.
Yeah, that does feel like a good cliffhanger.
What is going to happen? He threw down his own cap. and walked away without
That could be
all
the
of his other
book.
caps.
That could be the end of the book. It's a sort of a
That would be funny.
you know, a morality play about, you know, just sometimes it's better to give up.
Yeah, sometimes you don't get what you want, and
When monkeys take your
thieves-
hats, fuck it.
Yeah,
That's the
you just
story.
got to chalk that up as an L.
No parable. Just look, if monkeys steal your hats, fuck it.
Yeah, it's just not going to work out for you.
And now, to play us out, Joe, Dan, Marino, Flanders will complete the show by reading the thrilling conclusion, Caps for Sale.
Now, if you recall last week, I believe when we left off, the monkeys had thrown. Well, actually, what had they done? Do you remember where we left off, Andrew?
No, I do not listen while you're reading it.
Oh, right, of course. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna go back a few pages. So remember, all the monkeys are in the trees, or in the tree, with all their caps on. There we go. He's very upset about it.
Happy that he rightly split the jacket, though. A lot of people don't do that when they get a new blazer. They don't realize that little seam.
Right, you got to split that jacket. We've always said that.
Yeah. If you don't,
Fran always said it.
It doesn't fit right. It seems to fall around your waist.
Right, you got to split the jacket, folks. This book is teaching life lessons.
Yeah,
not only about monkeys and hats, caps, but also coats.
Now, what's weird is a little monkey was the one who sold me this cap. Perhaps it was one of the ones that was. It was a person, unfortunately. I wish it was a little like rhesus monkey that sold me this hat, but it was, alas, it was a person.
Well, we could continue the monkey theme with the farting book. That does seem to be about a monkey farting.
There's really no better contender than the sad monkey farting. I think we have to go for that.
Yeah.
We don't have to wait around for a physical copy. We can just you know, get it on. I'm sure it's on one of the Kindle app or whatever.
Yes. Yes.
So I'll pick that up, and maybe I read the fart book next.
Yeah, that would be good. We can alternate.
You know, alternate. Yeah.
Yes. Now remember, you could also read the rock book. I have faith in your abilities.
I know how to read it. I think that, you know, I'll read the fart book, then we'll figure out what you're going to read next.
Okay. All right.
You remember when we tried to watch shows with the audience and then how far we have fallen to now the promise that we're going to read various children's books as the final part of each episode. We went from watch along of like relevant media to watch along of the most horrendous daytime children's shows to nothing. Now all the way down to reading like 3 pages of a children's book to end the show.
Yeah. And it's
and you know what? You guys stuck with it. So it's your fault for encouraging us to continue. All right, go ahead, Joe.
Okay. All right. So he's asking the monkeys for the caps back. They're like, no. Actually, they don't say no. They just go tisk, 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 if you recall.
Yeah. Oh, that's what it's not tisk.
Right.
They're saying tisk. That makes so much more sense than some sort of weird viper noise that I was thinking.
I was thinking that as well. It just now hit me that they're going tisk, tisk, tisk. Yeah. Nope. Shouldn't have fallen asleep with all those caps on. All right. So at last, he became so angry that he pulled off his own cap, threw it on the ground, and began to walk away.
Okay. Okay. Do you notice that he's the guy, like the cartoon guy, if you're wearing a chef hat that's on the box of pizza at like a non-chain restaurant?
Yeah. Yep. Yep, that checks out. Yep, if he was wearing a chef hat. But then each monkey pulled off his cap. And what did he do? What did they do?
Farted to the cap.
And all the gray caps, and all the brown caps, and all the blue caps, and all the red caps came flying down out of the tree.
Yeah. I mean, I hope he's not trying to resell these. They're really fucked at this point.
It's true. It's true. The Hippocratic oath of cap salesmen.
I just don't feel like it's ethical to sell these dirty caps that have
dirty monkey caps,
wild animals' heads, and then on the ground.
So the peddler picked up his caps and put them back on his head. First his own checked cap, then the gray caps, then the brown caps, then the blue caps, then the red caps on the very top. Picking up those caps.
And slowly, he walked back to town calling caps for sale, 50 cents a cap. So he is indeed selling the monkey caps. And that is the end. So basically nothing happened.
Nothing nothing happens this entire book.
No change in the character. He was annoyed and then got his caps back.
All right, well, fuck that book. Next up, we're gonna do farting monkeys. We'll see you next week. Bye, everybody.